Production.
Yo, what is poppin' squad? So what we're looking at here is Ethereum. Now, first and foremost, one thing I like about Ethereum is that it's a little bit more volatile than Bitcoin is. So for example, just on that previous pump that we had in July last year, right? There was a time where we seen price go drastically, like 90% from the very bottom, I believe, on Ethereum. So 111%. Where if we look at BTC, that pump was definitely nowhere near as much, right? It was at 36%. So Ethereum is a lot more volatile and it's a better mover. So if you're into that volatility, maybe Ethereum is a coin that you should be more interested in than Bitcoin. I mean, you could do your own research on whether that's going to be valid or not, but that's something to pay attention to that I think is interesting when looking at both the two cryptocurrencies. So we're going to go over the technical analysis here. Right now we're at a pivotal spot on Ethereum, right? This $1,600 zone, this is a massive supply zone. So we're going to get this red line out of the way. It kind of looks a little bit ugly, but this right here is a massive supply zone. So once we eventually, right, it could take a lot longer than this, right? If the markets decide to dip due to any news, we'll reject this zone, right? But it's going to take time to break over this. But eventually, at some point, when we break over it, we want to use it as support, right? So previous resistance turns into support and vice versa. So this is something I'm paying attention to on Ethereum. I like the looks of this because this would probably create a massive pattern going on. Right now, we're trying to break out of this falling wedge. We did get the breakout technically. If we're looking at it from this perspective, we've broken out above this trend line, or you could call this like a descending triangle because this support here is pretty flat sideways at 1100 and it has multiple touches. Where this trend line kind of held us back, we broke up over it. I do like how we're holding the 8 EMA. So something, and this is on the weekly time frame, keep in mind. So we have this big pump, and now what we're seeing is time going sideways to develop, let the 8 EMA catch up, and maybe that's when we break up over this 1600 to 1800 zone. So Ethereum moves quick. This is one of those names that, you gotta, when you see it, take advantage instead of waiting, because then you're gonna end up waiting and then it's at 2000. So I do think that this name, again, if you look at it from the very highs, we've made a as low as 80% correction. So again, this happened once again back in 2018. We had a massive 95% correction. This time it's an 80% correction. I'd be looking to see in the future this zone. I think this is the major zone we're fighting for right now. And I do think in the next few weeks, months, that we'll get that break over it. I will be updating on any on a weekly basis, but when we look at the monthly time frame, let's take a look. Yeah, the monthly time frame looks nice. This January candlestick is looking pretty good. A nice bullish engulfing with a morning star candlestick pattern. So this does indicate, depending on how we close here at the end of this month, it indicates that there's going to be an increase in price. We haven't been able to break below this $1,100 zone in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months. So an 8-month support at this range seems pretty promising when you're looking at it from that perspective. When we zoom in on the 3-day time frame, again, right, we got this push to the upside, creating a 3-day bull flag. And right now what we're looking for is that consolidation sideways and eventually the continuation up higher. So that's the breakdown on Ethereum. Peace.